team. Let's get into the action. And the top stock is a therapeutic stock, actually. It's not Lulu, it's
Ooh, small little one.
ARCT. Of course, therapeutic stock. Be careful out there. They have been moving, though. I've seen some of these biotechs really getting to move as of late, especially anything that has like mentions of drugs. Just keep an eye out on that kind of phase. I think this was a phase 2 mention here, but let me just kind of adjust here. And it was quarterly beat, quarterly beat, and cash runaway extension. So runway extension. So it looks like they were able to get some cash and continuing to push here. We'll see if it gets back there towards the 2150s. Lulu, we've already mentioned, of course. We can keep going from there. Coinbase getting a little bit of a bounce back today. Is this something that you would take a shot in or a stay away? What do you guys think?
You know what? The Wells notice is scary, but what I will say is if we go into more of a banking crisis here, which I believe is still coming, I think Bitcoin continues to go higher, and you're seeing Bitcoin starting to break out here again. So short term, I'm still bullish Bitcoin here for the simple reason is that I think there's more banking problems ahead, and Bitcoin's a natural place to go and hide. So I do think eventually they start to gravitate back. Because we don't hear more news. Obviously, if we hear something substantial coming, and the SEC is going to be suing Coinbase, things can change quickly. So there is the potential for, a tape bomb here in Coinbase with that Wells notice out there. But as we hear, as we go days, by here and don't hear too much more about it, that it's going to probably eventually bring buyers back in. So it wouldn't surprise me if Coinbase starts to find some buyers and some dip buyers coming in here.
It looks
And
like there's
Square found those dip buyers too.
yeah,
It took
they
a couple
did.
of days, but Square has been trying to bounce back, which I felt the sell-off was absolutely ridiculous, is really what I thought. I said it on the show. Stock was 63 and a half, and then I watched it go down to 57. I was like, holy mackerel, was I early on that one. It has started to bounce back here. I do think eventually, I kind of like Square on the pullbacks, except the valuation. So I'm not in Square. I haven't been in it, but I still think that move down was a little bit overdone.
Yeah, coin looks like you got some room up to. There's some daily highs. You had that Wells notice, and can't get over 66. Your first target on the upside that would be 67.60. That was actually your high on Monday if you're looking for a target. So 70, you get into the gap area in Coinbase.
We'll see what happens there on Coinbase. And yeah, a bunch of kind of crypto stocks moving today as you're seeing Bitcoin a little bit higher. So keep your eyes on some of those Bitcoin stocks today. Even the miners were up a little earlier. But like Dennis said, there's a lot of stocks that are up today. Let's keep
it's
moving.
Really broad based. This is the first day that I've come in and I'm like, well, there's no pockets of weakness here, which is surprising. Now things can change very quickly, and maybe at 9:30 it's going to separate and we're going to see some separation. But besides those downgraded retailers, I don't see very many pockets of weakness here today.
Yep, let's keep moving here. Let's take a look at some other ones. Tesla bouncing back a little bit after making a low yesterday at 185.43. It's back to 192.40s. Do you see higher than 200, or do you guys see below that 185 kind of gap zone? What do you guys think?
I just see major resistance at 200, so I think there's no reason to get long this thing until it can reclaim 200. Yeah. Again, the banking crisis is still, we keep mentioning it multiple times every show because it's still out there and we're still not past it. I can't get interested in Tesla unless it starts to get above 200 really from the bull side.
Yeah, a little bit shorter term here. You're opening right into the previous day's high, 92.36. And that was really near your 2-day close, also your 4-day close. So if the bulls want to make a stand here, they'll get a 192.5 bid. Things open up after that. 197.39 is your 2-day high in Tesla, but kind of quiet ranges here after that tremendous January run. Little bit of tail off in February and March.
All right, let's go to an interesting one here. DG, Dollar General here. What do you guys think about DG?
They were on the cover of Barron's. And,
that tells us a lot, right?
Yeah, it was negative too. There was the old negative. The price is wrong. And I skimmed the article, and it showed like, this cranberry spray juice is $1.89, but then you go to the register and it's like $2.12. But obviously the street went the other way with it. Monday, Monday was a little bit of a down day. Interesting level here for me would be this let's just call it 212. If you go back to last week and the prior week, you had three highs in that area. If you're looking at it from a bullish scenario, but first things first, you got to clear that high from yesterday, 210.42. Guys, I'm gonna let you finish up and hop. Great show
Sure.
today. Thanks to Rob Ocasio for coming on, and go get them, guys.
All right. I mean, we could take a look at some down gappers, but Netflix has been strong as
Yeah.
of late. What do you think about this Netflix recent move? I know
I
I've been
think
watching
the
it with.
subscriber, if they're going to start cracking down on that, I actually think that's good for the stock.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of like it in the lower 300s. I mean, we just popped quite a bit here, but if we can pull back here in this range, it again valuation. When I was picking it up, and obviously, I had two purchases, but when I had the big purchase at the 180, I was on a valuation call. The thing was trading 16 times earnings. Like Netflix never been this cheap. So that was just valuation call. It's not that cheap anymore. I mean, 30 times earnings here. So it's I'd love to see this in the low 200s. I just don't know if you're going to get there. I do love the company. I think that they create so much content, and some of it's pretty darn good. They're the streaming people. You thought Disney was going to come in, but Disney just doesn't have the content, the amount of content. Disney has great content. They just don't have the amount of content. And I mean, even what I was with Disney before, and I still like Disney long term. I just, I go on the Disney Plus and I was like, okay, the new Mandalorian series. And I was trying to watch it last night. Well, it's not even that good. So I don't know what it is. Like some of these Star Wars series, the Andor one. I mean, the hardcore, Star Wars people really love them. I'm not that impressed, with some of. They've come up with a lot of new Star Wars content, but it hasn't been just, oh my god, that was awesome. It was like, it's okay. It was okay. Like when they first came out with some stuff, it was like kill. That first Mandalorian series was awesome. But like now it's like they're coming out with new Star Wars content all the time, and it's like it's good, but it's not great. So I don't know. I think Netflix is still the company beating streaming.
Yeah, and I think, believe it or not, I think Apple is coming really fast. I know a lot of people don't believe in Apple Plus or Apple TV, right? But their mentions that they're going to get into movies, I think, is a big step for them. And so keep your eyes on that. While Disney just mentioned that we're going to cut spending on content. So I don't know how they expect to be a leader in
That's
streaming,
crazy
but not
they're doing
spending money in content, right? That to me, they're just trying to make money with that little as amount spent on the content. And yeah, it's continuing to work right now, but will that change? I think that's something we keep a close eye on. Let's just take a little peek here at the net down to see what's showing up there. Anything that stands out to us. Of course, you see some kind of retail names like Urban. These are names, smaller names, right, that I've been keeping an eye on, like let's say an American Eagle, and Abercrombie and Fitch. Some of those kind of names. What do you think about those names, Dennis?
I'm staying away from retail for the simple reason I think the consumer gets more strapped here eventually. But yeah, some of these valuations are gotten to a point where they're cheap. I still have that little bit of Kohl's, which has just been horrible, and that's like a bad taste in my mouth. I tried the JWN back, long, after in the 20s there, in the low 20s when it pulled back at the huge pop, and then it pulled back and I tried it there, and then it started breaking down again. So I'm like, it's been hard to make money in retail on the long side. So I think once bitten, twice shy for me on retail. There will be a time to buy retail stocks here. I just feel like we're early yet.
Dennis, you know where I got top ticked probably on, which was, of course, Burlington, as it destroyed me up there at the top. That's the day I got stopped out. That's the day I got stopped out, Dennis.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's how it goes.
They run you, they run you, they run you. I mean, people think, it's easy shorting stocks. It's not easy shorting stocks.
No, it isn't.
Not easy being long stocks either sometimes. So trading is difficult. The psychology behind it all, you can really make you... it makes you or breaks you. I mean, you got to try to separate yourself from the money. You got to try to separate yourself from and just try to put your structured system in place. If you're new, you're trying to build the structure, you're trying to build the systems, you're trying to find the edge. My edge is, a little bit of combination of everything. It's macro, it's individual news flow, it's charts, it's a little bit of everything. And I try to, take that, view and try to put it all together.
And what about the AMC rumors? Did you hear about those rumors?
No, what's the new AMC rumors?
Oh, you didn't hear it yesterday?
No, I did
All right,
not.
so there was a rumor going around
I
that
think I have AMC
supposedly
muted in my thing.
Amazon can be buying AMC. So rumors out there that supposedly Amazon would go and buy AMC. What do you think about that?
Zero chance. Sorry.
Yeah, there's
Zero.
just no point, right?
There's some things that have a chance, like you go back to Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me I got a chance. I don't think you have any chance.
That's how it is sometimes, team. We'll see if the rumor does play to fruition, but of course, it's going to be a tough one. We'll find out if Amazon does go after AMC. That's what had that nice little pop yesterday in the intraday market. We'll look to see if AMC can make any type of turnaround, as it's been just kind of on a declining action, right? It's almost back to $3 where it kind of ripped out of, right? It was about $2, then started ripping at that $3. We're almost back to $3. Will we cut through that 52-week low, $3.77? Find out, team. That's going to do it for our trade segment today. Like always, you guys can check out stocks to watch here and get 3 months for free with TradeZero's flagship software. And we're going to start wrapping up. Any last comments you got for the
Everything
market,
rally.
Dennis?
It's an everything rally here today. Let's see if